Okay, alhamdulillah, let's go to advice number 3. This is about being mindful of others and treating them with best of manners. Muslim households, mashallah, are big places. Sometimes we have up to 4 generations living there. Parents, their kids, and then the grandparents. And sometimes you even have 4 generations where you have the children and their parents and then their parents and then the great-grandparents. And though that has many benefits, and subhanAllah, it's a place of lots of joy, noise and commotion, it also can be a difficult place where people can often upset others, annoy others, and there can be tensions that arise. Now, when we're spending time alone in isolation, it becomes even more of a challenge to maintain good relationships and to keep the home space and environment one of happiness, warmth and love. And that is why it's very important to be mindful about how we treat others in these times while self-isolating. The Prophet ﷺ, he said that أَكْمَلَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِيمَانًا, the believer who is the most complete in terms of faith is the one who has the best character and who treats their family the best. And subhanAllah, that's an amazing statement, that the person, he's equating the best people to be those who are the best with their families. And perhaps one of the reasons behind that is it's often easier to treat people outside the home with good manners than it is to those inside the home. You go to work, you have your work colleagues, and you maintain a level of professionalism. You have some laughter with them, you behave courteously with them, and the same maybe in the masjid. We end up going into religious mode, and we all become very pious and holy. But then when you get home, we start to behave in a way which is not really befitting of a Muslim. And for people that don't mistreat their families, the question I put to you is, do you treat those people at home better than the people outside the home, or is the opposite the case? You treat your friends better than your family. That's something to think about, because the Prophet is saying actually the best people are those that can be on their best behavior at home. So in this regard, I'm going to share with you some practical tips. Firstly, one way to build good bonds of love and compassion, of togetherness in the home, is to have congregational prayer at home. Salatul Jama'ah. And subhanAllah, the Prophet ﷺ, he told us that the prayer of one person, he said the prayer of a man with another man is better than his prayer by himself. In fact, the word the Prophet used is azka, more purer. And perhaps the reason why 2 people praying together is better than them praying separately, or the reason it's more pure, is because when you pray next to somebody and you're side by side, that brings your hearts together and you experience a connection with Allah together, and so that may purify your hearts towards one another as well as towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I have congregational prayer at home, inshallah, and it's very easy. The person knows the most Quran. Usually the father will lead the salah and women will stand in their rows behind. And if there's only one person, one boy, one man at home along with the imam, then they stand side by side. Otherwise, they will have the imam, the men, the boys, and then the women and the girls. So this is one practical tip. The second is to work as a team around the house and to help each other out. With everyone at home, there's a lot more chores, there's a lot more to clean up, there's lots more mess that's being made. It's not fair that it should be put down to the mother or even the women folk of the house. Rather, we know that there was a practice of the Prophet that he himself would get involved with the chores of the home, which is quite amazing. He is the leader of humanity, that at home he is like in the service of his family. So what I would suggest as families, have a rota where there's a to-do list every day. There's the mop, there's the hoover, there's the cleaning of the front room, there's the polishing, and everyone says, you know what, I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do that, and then it gets shared out and you work as a team. And last tip is, consider doing a small act of kindness for somebody else in your family. The best people to do something nice for is your mum and dad. And it's not just about putting a smile on their face, it's actually deeper than that. The Prophet ﷺ, he told us that Allahu fi awni al-abdi ma kana al-abdu fi awni akhihi. That Allah is in the service or the support of His slave so long as the slave is in support of his brother. Now imagine, if Allah is going to help you because you helped a fellow brother, how much more will Allah help you if you helped your mother or your father? Isn't it? Think about that. So every day, think about something nice you can do for your parents. It could be massaging them. It could be giving them a gift. It could be writing a letter to them. It could be just talking to them, sitting down and having a conversation, asking how they're doing, asking about their health. For parents, that can put a smile on their face. So the three things again are: number one, congregational prayer at home with the family; number two, work as a team to keep the house tidy; and number three, do a small act of kindness for somebody else. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to be on our best behavior at home, and at the very least, not allow us to be the cause of annoyance for somebody else. Allahumma ameen.